Try this out. Listen to a song you haven't heard before. One a day at least. If you want to listen to more than one, that's cool, but don't get burned out by going too hard. One a day is plenty. You can find a song on your own, or you can get one recommended to you from beyond the A-side. I hear the guy who does that show is incredibly knowledgeable and very handsome and talented. But that's just what other people say. Like I said, one new song a day. Try it for a week, try it for a year. What do you have to lose? And in this day and age, it's right at your fingertips. Wait, I didn't mean right now. Hello and welcome back to the Record Shop. I'm Keith Maki, and just like last week, we're going to try and give you some high-grade pharmaceutical for your ears to make you feel good, so let's get into it. When he's not playing bass for Queens of the Stone Age or co-fronting the Mini Mansions, Michael Schumann, also known as Mikey Shoes, has a solo project called Glue. That's G-L-U. A departure from the intense rock and roll vibe of the Queens of the Stone Age and the slick sound of the Mini Mansions, Schumann lowers his octaves to a growl and trades Beatlesque harmonies for a more classic hip-hop style. Backed by an electronic instrumental not unlike something you may hear on this show. Maybe not that good, but the verses flow with a classic hip-hop style, and the choruses come in with major hooks, sing kind of similar as if you would hear something in the Mini Mansions. His latest release, the Boogeyman EP, is out now, a 4-song offering with the songs Love You to Pieces, Gone Fishing, and Tunnel Vision, which has vocals from Sarah Barthel, I hope I'm pronouncing that right, from Franagram as well, as the title track. It's a great follow-up to the My Demons EP, which was originally released in 2023, and if you listen to them back to back, it's like a full-length LP from Glue, and it's a great listen for all you lovers of sound like myself. I wouldn't steer you wrong if I'm telling you about something. It's because I'm listening to it myself. and I like it enough to want to share it with whoever gives any credence to my musical taste. I'm not stingy with it, and I really enjoy this music, and I got to see Queens of the Stone Age live at the State Theater in Detroit several years ago, and I was in the crowd not very far from the barricade position, about maybe 15 feet from Josh Homme, the frontman for Queens of the Stone Age, musical genius, and about 10 feet from Michael Schumann, so I got a good dose of how he gets down live, and trust me when I say he gets into it. You know, he fucking screams his ass off, and his hair and his bangs and shit go flying everywhere. I can relate to that because we have similar hair. And he performs with intensity, and there's nothing I like more than that. And feel free to join us Friday nights at 11 p.m. Central Time. That's 2300 military time and 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time for the Powers Point After Dark, where myself and my partner Scott Powers chop it up with our 2300 Society. This week we are going back to the 80s and doing an 80s theme special, and it's going to be a fun time, and I look forward to talking to everybody and getting back into the room, seeing what the fuck is going on. So Dave, Sean, Mo, Dakota, everyone else, I'll talk to you Friday, boys. And on the subject of the Mini Mansions, frontman Tyler Parkford has teamed up with Mini Mansions touring drummer, who also happens to be the drummer for the Arctic Monkeys, and he goes by the name of Matt Helders. And the two go by the handle of Terrific, and their debut song is called Weho. W-E-H-O, one word, not two words. That would make it a little bit different. And if you enjoy Mini Mansions, Arctic Monkeys, or The Last Shadow Puppets, which both of these men take part in one fashion or another, as I said, Matt plays drums for Mini Mansion on tour, the same as Tyler Parkford was sometimes the touring keyboard player for the Arctic Monkeys and The Last Shadow Puppets as well. And I believe on some of the records, I believe he plays also. Now, the song Weho starts with an electronic flourish, kind of not unlike something you would hear from Giorgio Moroder, kind of a 70s computer style, a little sound effect. It's really fucking cool. I dig it myself. And, it continues with that same sexy sort of French disco vibe on top of it that some of the modern rock bands like the Mini Mansions and like the Arctic Monkeys tend to have, on some of their better tracks. And, sounds before the vocals kick in, and then Matt and Tyler start layering down some tandem vocals with the wry sense of wit that you really only find from Tyler Parkford anymore, and a hook that it's the stuff that made me fall in love with this man's music. And it's not uncommon at all for me to find myself shaking my head at how clever his lyrics are. I feel that he brings a level of quality and expertise to songwriting that you don't get very much anymore in music, regardless of the genre. Also, if you like to get a little freaky naughty, be sure to check out Third Floor Assessments with Dave and Dakota T-Bow, our new show on the Powers Point Network, which you will find at Powers Point Podcast at podbean.com. We're looking to put out a show every week, and Dave and Dakota are a couple pretty funny guys, and they get into some interesting things, and they give you an insight to what their life is like. So go check them out. Dig it. With ticket prices starting at $105, Bruno Mars is heading out on what he's dubbed the Romantic Tour. And the demand for tickets is so overwhelming that 31 new concert dates were added, making it not only the biggest tour this year, but potentially the biggest tour of all time. Included stops on the tour is a 6-night stint at Wembley Stadium, and some of the fans were having issues getting through to buy tickets to where they went into the hands of the scalpers and who are already hiking up the price to over $1,000 for what was originally a $105 ticket. Great people that they are. To pay that much to see the show from the top of the stadium is ridiculous. And a lot of the fans are saying just that. So, but not enough to slow down, I guess, the juggernaut of the tour that it is. And I can understand why, to be honest. You know, the general public's had enough politics and scandals and war and bullshit and you fucking name it forced on us for so long now, whether we want to, you know, take part in that shit or not, you know. So I believe in this new year that the average person is ready to dance. They're ready to party and sing and fall in love and have good times and make good memories and do the shit that they used to do before all these other things took over, you know what I mean? And you had to start wondering about what the next person thought when it was, you know, normally they were your friend and your family. Now you have to worry about their political views and their views on this and that. It's goddamn ridiculous. So I believe the average person like you and me, we're ready to dance, we're ready to party, and we're ready to sing along this summer. And it really doesn't surprise me that the people want to kind of try that out again, you know what I mean? Get down at the Bruno Mars concert. And I myself am all for it. You know, obviously, them ticket prices puts it way out of my space. But it'll be interesting to see how he gets down. And hopefully it's a fun time for whoever makes it. I also want to give a special shout out to my buddy and my co-host, Mr. Scott Powers, who's under the weather right now. Rest up, buddy. And we'll talk to you Friday and get you good sleep in. Everything's under control. And I appreciate, you know, him giving me the opportunity to bring this, as I said, you know what I mean, high-grade pharmaceutical for your ears that I'm going to try and do once a week now. So thank you, Mr. Powers. I appreciate you, bud. And get better real soon, and I'll talk at you. With it being absolutely freezing outside right now, if you're looking for a good documentary to watch on a great musician, look no further than Sly Lives, the documentary of Sly Stone from the legendary Sly and the Family Stone, full of stories from his bandmates who were there with him, as well as his contemporaries such as George Clinton and Shaka Khan, and obviously some younger artists who were too young to be there at the time, but they tell the story so matter of fact, it was like they were there. I don't know. Anyone else ever notice that they do that? But from his days as a DJ to his time as a producer for groups like the Beau Brummels, to a band called The Great Society who had a song called Somebody to Love, which Sly produced and featured a very young Grace Slick, who went on to make that song way more famous as part of the Jefferson Airplane, to his own rise with Sly and the Family Stone, and ultimately to his choice to step away from the music business. While you can hear his influence in other artists who sampled his music, such as Janet Jackson used a Sly sample for the main hook for Rhythm Nation, and LL Cool J, who used Sly's hook for his song Mama Said Knock You Out right in the beginning, the first thing you hear, right after Come On Man. That's Sly right there, buddy. You need to check that out, and that's awesome. But that's just to name a few. And the list goes on, and unfortunately, we will never get an official comeback from Sly Stone, as he passed away in June 2025 at 82 years old. That's not too bad, but the world lost a genius and got a little bit less loving, and definitely lost a bright light in the world, because, Sly was a great example of how to not let things like racism, ignorance, and hate into his personality. And, he had, from what I appear on the outside, had at least a beautiful way of thinking, that he tried to pass on to the world, and he didn't feel like it was appreciated as much as it should have been, So that's obviously because the Powers Point wasn't around right now to appreciate him, because you know how much we appreciate everybody. But anyway, check it out, and check out some of his music, such as some of his great albums like There's a Riot Going On, which is my personal favorite, which you can obviously find wherever it is you get your music. And that will conclude the second edition of The Record Shop. Thank you for joining me. I'm Keith Maki, and you will find this at Powers Point Podcast at podbean.com. And be sure to check out myself and Scott Powers every Friday night at 11 o'clock Central Time, 2300 Military Time, and 12 midnight Eastern Standard Time for Powers Point After Dark with our 2300 Society and a lot of fun shit and a lot of cool music and other things. It's going to be a fun time as always. And until next time, I'm Keith Maki. Dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it, dig it.